Hello, everybody.
All right.
Position number 19, Mr. Tyrone Harris is going to say.
I'll be excused, Your Honor.
Yes, Mr. Toller, have a good day. Thank you.
You too now. Always good to see you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Mr. Tyrone Harris is at the medical unit. He is accused of criminal trespass under case 24 CR 8301G. Mr. Harris, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say in open court, your statements can and will be used against you in the treatment of your case. You have a right to an attorney, and representing you is going to be either Mr. Bartel or Ms. Kim or Mr. Haddad. Okay.
No, Judge. So he's proceeding pro se.
Pro se? Okay. Thank you. Mr. Harris, you have a right to an attorney. If you choose to waive your right to counsel, then you will be depriving yourself of legal experience and expertise. If you decide to represent yourself, you are responsible for understanding the criminal laws and procedures and how they affect your personal freedom and your any other matters such as open cases, your job, your residency, or any other licenses you may have. And also what kind of impact it will have on your criminal conviction record if you have one. But it's really up to you whether you would like to have appointed counsel at no expense to you or whether you'd like to represent yourself. So, Mr. Harris, how would you like to proceed in terms of having an attorney?
No, I'm okay. I'm a represent myself. I'm a monarch or a royal sovereign. I have divine rights of a king and also sovereign rights. I have non-monetary conditions in the state of PA, personal and secure bond in Maryland, and I got surety bond here in GA. I have eminent domain, so any private property that was established like in this land is for public use for myself.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
Yes.
How do you want to proceed with one count of criminal trespass cited against you from December 25th, 2024?
Not guilty. I had a going on for a bus ticket back to Tampa, Florida. I only been there 2 days, and then I got arrested. I already established and shown the paperwork of my sovereignty.
Okay, well, that is certainly not a very pleasant welcome to Georgia. So, as you are planning to enter not guilty, I am going to arraign your case. Would you like me to read the accusation, or do you waive a reading of the accusation?
I can waive it.
Okay. So, Mr. Tyrone Harris in Fulton County, Georgia, you are accused of criminal trespass at the Greyhound bus station at 2324 Forsyth Street, Atlanta, Georgia, Fulton County, on December 25th, 2024. Your accusation is 24 CR 8301G. This is a misdemeanor offense. You are legally presumed innocent of the charge, and upon your entry of a not guilty plea, the case will be scheduled for trial before the division judge. At the time of the trial, the prosecution would have the complete burden to prove the charge against you beyond a reasonable doubt. At the time of the trial, if the prosecution prevails and overcomes your legal presumption of innocence, you could be found guilty and face a possible penalty of up to a year in prison and or up to $1,000 fine. Given this information, and the division judge will be John Mather, how do you plead to this particular misdemeanor offense?
Not guilty. One of the officers said he was going to compensate me for a bus ticket beforehand, so probably on a radio record. So it was just a lot. It was a misunderstanding that was going on. Like I said before, I have divine rights of a king and also a sovereign citizen.
Well, I'm sure those rights can come in handy when you go to trial, but presently, I'm exercising your right to an arraignment. And your right to arraignment is you will have a trial. It'll be scheduled before Judge Mather. You presently have a $2,000 good bond. And if you do make bond, make sure that you give us a good mailing address so that we can send you notice of your trial date. Failure to appear for your trial date can result in a bench warrant for your arrest.
So even if I have a surety bond, which is a creditor that's guaranteed to have his debt paid by the debtor, I still can't be released before trial.
You can come up with $2,000 of legal U.S. tender, or you can go through one of our bonding companies. We have lots of them in Fulton County, Georgia. Or you can pledge equity in any real estate as long as you have legal title to that property that the sheriff's department will accept.
So even if I have, even in the Commonwealth.
The answer to
I
that
have
question is
non-monetary
no. The answer to that question is no. I've already given you the 3 options.
So you're just going over something that you're not even supposed to be going over.
You're absolutely correct.
Okay, I appreciate that for that information and for that truthful answer you said. So.
Understood. Thank you. All right, Mr. Harris' case is been arraigned and further notice for trial. This is State versus Arthur Ballard. Mr. Ballard has, Arthur Ballard has got 4 cases before the court this morning. Position 4 is a bench warrant, 24 FTA 2056 from August 14th, 2024. Position 5 is another bench warrant, 24 FTA 2057. Position 6 is maintaining a disorderly house from August 12th, 2022 under case 24 CR 3223D. And the 4th matter is the theft by shoplifting charge from January 7th, 2023 under case 24 CR 3979D. Mr. Ballard has been advised of his right to remain silent, and Mr. Bartell, will you be representing him?
Well, Your Honor, I'm in a difficult position with this case because all we have are accusations. There are no police reports, so I don't know what especially with a disorderly house, the accusation basically tracks the statutory language with no details. So at this point, I can't advise him on the merits of the state's case, nor am I comfortable putting my name on a plea form. But I've advised Mr. Ballard what his options are. And when we talked yesterday, he said that he wanted to accept the state's offer and go forward. So if that is still the case, I can give him the plea paperwork for him to fill out.
Okay. Mr. Ballard, did you understand what Mr. Bartell was saying?
Yes.
And you understand that you have the right to an attorney. The attorney will be able to help you understand the consequences of entering a plea, how it could impact on your personal freedom, upon your job, upon any other cases you may have against you, upon your residency if applicable. And it would be very important also, considering that if one of the charges is theft by shoplifting, if you decide to plead guilty to this charge, this would be your 3rd shoplifting conviction on your record. And any subsequent arrest for shoplifting will automatically be a felony charge. Mr. Bartell is willing to provide you with his legal expertise so that you could perhaps avoid a shoplifting conviction on your record. But you would have to abide by his advice. If you decide to just forge ahead and plead guilty, you would be risking personal freedom as well as a very adverse criminal record. So do you still want to represent yourself, or would you like to be represented by a licensed attorney?
No, he can do it.
I don't understand what you just said. Can you tell me?
Yes, he can do it. He can represent.
All right. So based on Mr. Bartell's recommendation, he doesn't recommend that you take a plea until he's had a chance to review the documents, because right now he doesn't have any documents that he can obtain from the prosecution.
I am more than happy to send Mr. Bartels the police reports. If he had just asked me to send him the police reports, I would have sent them. So if that was a holdup to him talking to his clients, I can forward the police reports right now for him to review.
All right. Arthur Ballard is represented by Paul Bartell, and Ms. Paul, go ahead and email them to Mr. Bartell. Mr. Bartell, we'll hold off on Arthur Ballard.
Okay, I'll look those over and get back. I will say I noted in my email yesterday there was no discovery. and never got a response to that, but I'm willing to look them over now.
No, it's amazing once you get face to face what you get. So
I'll look out for those. I'll get back to
thank you. Mr. Bartel, who do we have right now?
Yes, Your Honor, we're revisiting Mr. Ballard. His positions 4 through 7. I did get the police reports from Ms. Falk on number 6 and 7, which are the underlying charges. And he is wanting to go forward with the plea.
Okay. And will you be representing him?
I am, Your Honor.
All right. So Mr. Arthur Ballard has been advised of the 4 cases that are pending against him. He's represented by Mr. Bartel. Mr. Ballard, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth to the best of your knowledge?
No.
All right. So Miss Falk? What's the recommendation for maintaining a disorderly house? Position 6. Oh, please unmute.
You're muted.
My apologies. I believe on position 6, that was a time served plea, 30 days, well, close to time served, 30 days credit for time served, 14 days, concurrent with 24 CR 003979D. That's the theft by shoplifting charge. It is 12 months served, 30 days, credit for time served, 14 days, balance probated, an anti-theft course, 40 hours of community service, and stay away from all Walmart stores. That's because this is a defendant's 3rd theft by shoplifting, so we could not reduce that to 28 days because statutorily it's a 30-day sentence.
Understood. Mr. Bartel, does your client accept these terms, knowing that he has to spend an extra day in jail and then he'll be on probation? And do you stipulate to the factual basis, venue, and ID?
Well, Your Honor, we do stipulate to those factors, to factual basis, venue and ID. I did advise him about the state's offer with 30 days. We had wanted to ask for the 28 days to serve because that would be time served. He's been in for 14 days. However, I believe Ms. Falk is correct that the statutory minimum is 30 days. So I do understand where that's coming from. And we are in agreement with the other conditions of the plea or the offer.
Ms. Falk, when was his prior to theft by shoplifting convictions?
I can pull that up right now, Your Honor. Just give me a
We
moment.
know he was represented by counsel.
Or, I'm sorry?
I was going to say, do we know if he was represented by counsel on both of those?
I have no idea. I just want to know when were his prior to convictions. If pre-trial has the information, Ms. Hardy or Ms. Falk, whoever comes, let me know. I've already told him this will be his 3rd conviction and any subsequent arrest will be a felony.
His previous convictions, Your Honor, were in, let's see, theft by shoplifting on March 9th, 2012, a theft by shoplifting in 2010 in Clayton County State Court, as well as those were his most recent theft by shoplifting. So 2012 and 2010. He did have another theft by shoplifting. It was null prost in, let's see, looks like, oh, that was a failure to appear, Your Honor. So 2012 and 2010 were the 2 previous theft by shoplifting convictions.
All right. So, yeah, Mr. Bartel, I'm not going to amend his time. It will be 30 days to serve 14 days. He would need to do the additional jail time. And if he has no other holds, he'll report to probation every month, beginning January 13th. Would he still like to move forward with the plea?
Yes, we'll go forward, Your Honor. He does not have any other holds that I can see.
Okay. Mr. Ballard, have you consumed any medicine or alcohol recently?
No, ma'am.
And have you understood what's going on in your cases?
Yes, ma'am.
Repeat.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
If you decide to plead guilty to these charges, you would have to give up your constitutional right to a trial. You will not be able to go back to court to confront your accuser, to challenge the evidence brought against you, to be able to present your defenses and arguments and have the state prove the charges beyond a reasonable doubt. Are you prepared to give up these rights?
Yes, ma'am.
How do you plead to maintaining a disorderly house from August 12th of 2022?
Yes.
Repeat.
Yes.
Your sentence is 30 days to serve 14 days. You have one additional day to serve at the Fulton County Jail, and then after that, this case would be closed. With regards to theft by shoplifting, how do you plead?
Yes.
Your sentence is 12 months to serve 30 days, credit for time served 14 days. You have one additional day to serve at the Fulton County Jail, and then you'll be released. You will report to the Fulton County Probation at 132 Mitchell Street before 3 p.m., and that will be on Monday, January 13th, before 3 p.m. You will be on probation for the remainder of the year. While on probation, you will complete an anti-theft class at your expense, and you must enroll in that class within 60 days of being released. You will complete 40 hours of voluntary community service at any nonprofit agency that's not a church and not a school. And you must complete a minimum of 5 hours per month until all 40 hours are completed. At all times, you cannot enter or be seen within 200 yards of a Walmart store, any Walmart store on the entire planet. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. If you violate any of these conditions, if you fail to report, or if you get arrested again, your probation will be revoked and you will end up spending the rest of the year either in jail or in prison.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
We would ask that probation go non-reporting once he completes the requirements.
Any objection, Ms. Falk?
State has no objection.
All right. If he has completed the anti-theft class, the 40 hours community service, and he's up to date with all his probation fees, then probation will be non-reporting.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. The 2 bench warrants are dismissed.
Thank you, Judge.
Be safe, be well, sleep sweet, and much love.